the Shogun seems to be based, right, on Odin, right, in Norse mythology. So Odin, Norse mythology, takes what Odin isn't actually blind, right? Typical Odin has one eye, right, like in the Marvel movies or whatever, right? Odin has one eye patch, but actually Odin isn't blind. He's not blind in that eye and eye patch. No, this eye, right? Odin has put that eye and said minus brunn. Minus well in English, right? So because one of the eyes of Odin is constantly inside the brunn, they can see everything. He has omni-knowledge, right? He can see everything that's happening on the planet, omnipresence. I was obviously right? Let's review it. I obviously was correct on that. It is exactly like Odin. I mean, clearly, right? It is clearly like Odin. I said it several times, right? But I said it at the beginning of this reaction, and I said it again, right? And I even had the theory a few months ago, right? That, yeah, Shogun Ri, or Ryodoran Ri, he's based on Odin in mythology, right? Yeah, he put one of his eyes inside this magical place, right? Here it calls something else, but it's the same thing, right? And that's why he isn't actually blind. He's gonna go Thundercats. He's gonna use his board guy to like play some music tunes, tell them how to fight. And then we see the badass guy getting up. I'm ready. Yeah. Oh, hello everyone. Cause time finally for Black Clover, right? It's been a little while now. Finally, maybe some Merlona happening. I'm hoping it's gonna be a few chapters of only Merlona. Okay, about Asta. Okay, about Noel. What does she use to keep? He's about that, right? No, so finally making the Asta shirt again. Been a few weeks now, right? Of course, one of the main reasons why I talked about earlier, right, is because every time I do a Black Clover video on YouTube, it gets like immediately demonetized and flagged and all that fun stuff, right? And basically completely censored. Yeah, it's just crazy, right? So probably because the title, the name, right, and some of the story bits, like people with evil father and so on. So I took a little break here, right? And also because it was Christmas, of course. Also, of course, helped, right? Taking the break from Christmas. But anyway, now then, I want to read it. I'm excited because with me here, right? So we're going to read 346 to today then, which is 352, released like 2 hours ago, whatever. So it's like 5 chapters, right? And what is going to happen? He's going to fight, I guess, Sister Lily's the one I ride, right? I hope that the Gyro gets more action. And I hope the Merlona gets some action. But it does feel like Merlona won't get much action, right? But anyway, Merlona should be the main character. Anyway, let's start reading it. So the 5... Damn it! I said so, right? And then the first word was so, okay? God damn it, it's not great to stream. Seriously, I said so, that's my general starting phrase, right? So, let's do it or whatever, yeah. So I was like, so, and then the first line, the first bubble is also so. So I was like, so. It was like, my brain just fried there. Okay, let's go again. So, that's a 5-headed dragon. It's gigantic, yeah. So we got the legendary dragon, right? It's been risen. Of course, we learned that Japan is actually another continent in this Black Clover world, right? If we hadn't followed the Shoguns, yeah, we would have died. I think we're probably gonna learn about the truth about Yami and his sister and the father probably in this chapter, that would be my guess. Yeah. Here's Sister Lily. Here she comes. Oh, she's fighting the crazy bloodthirsty lady. Yeah, she's fighting, yeah. What an incredible magic. Should you be fighting me? I like Sister Lily is so evil and powerful. It's good that Sister Lily is become the main antagonist. Finally, Sister Lily got screen time. She's even laughing at them now, yeah. Or the 5-headed dragon will destroy everything. She's so evil now. But they got 5 people fighting, right? Yeah, he seems to be based on... Because he's like, we got an all-seeing lord, right? And I said it earlier. I think that the Shogun seems to be based, right, on Odin, right, in Norse mythology. So Odin, Norse mythology, takes what Odin isn't actually blind, right? Typical Odin has one eye, right, like in the Marvel movies or whatever, right? Odin has one eye patch, but actually Odin isn't blind. He's not blind in that eye and eye patch. No, this eye, right? Odin has put that eye and said minus brunn. Minus well in English, right? So because one of the eyes of Odin is constantly inside the brunn, they can see everything. He has omni-knowledge, right? He can see everything that's happening on the planet. Omnipresence, kind of, right? But not really presence because he's not there. He can see everything, right? So that's how Odin works. One of his eyes is constantly watching around the world, right? And one eye is watching kind of next to him. So Odin isn't actually blind at all. He just removed one eye and put it there. But it still works with his body, because he's, the almighty God, right? So his eye still works, even if the eye isn't actually, in his body, right, so to speak. And if he's like the Shogun in here in Black Clover is the same thing, because she calls him the all-seeing Lord. He obviously also has one eye patch, right? So I think that his other eye is also actually using his like perfect, the key, right? He's probably using the other eye. We saw him, dodging the attacks and so on, right? So I think that he's using his other eye to constantly, like, know what's happening and so on. 3 tough cards called Paladins, The Ocean 7. 1 water and a space user, Then you got Ice. The Ice guy looks a lot like the Ice guy we had earlier, right? In the very previous arc. I said it earlier, he looks a lot like the guy that was evil with the children in the cave. Okay, I bet the last one has magical critters. Well, yes, he can control the dragon. Then let's go and shuttle it. Now, we save the people first. Now we gotta save the people, okay, so we gotta first remove the people from the beach and so on, right? Like Dykes! Come on, she's the new best character, the Imari. Yeah, I don't know what to do with it! Come on, she's a kawaii gyro ninja girl. Come on, she's definitely the best of the Ryosen. And then of course we got the sword lady that just like kind of fake or something. She's that we saw last chapter. I read, of course, she's pretending to be, I'm so afraid. And she's like, and she goes crazy when she starts fighting. Oh, I believe in you all. Okay, the Shogun is like, I believe in you. I love you guys. Okay. Now she's laughing like a maniac because she's some kind of crazy samurai lady. Snow Jutsu Silver Fox. Oh, she turned into like turned into like a snow kitsune, I guess. She got like the snow kitsune eyes and everything, right? She jumps into the dragon. He got earth powers. Oh yeah, because he's like a big kind of, he's like a big manka, right? Of course, he's summoning like a Buddha. He's like a big manka. It makes sense, right? He's summoning like a martial art Buddha, like a Dai Buddha statue thing, right? Yeah, definitely. What's a ninja then? He's like fire or something? Because obviously the guy who is lightning. I mean, of course, it's like a quick. Because the thing is that we see her several times with that lightning around her, though. She got and her hair's a little bit like lightning bolts, right? So she obviously got the lightning thing going on. He's wind then? Yeah, he's wind blades, I guess. Okay. She's obviously lightning, And obviously she's dark. I mean, obviously Ichika is dark. I mean, they already know it. She has the dark attack. All the 5 dragons head off. They believe in us. Okay, that's a chapter. So that's a chapter. I guess we're gonna go and review each chapter. Let me go get like a but so I'm gonna review each chapter, right? Then of course talk about them eventually. But a quick review. I think it was a nice chapter. You just kind of see all the strongest of Ryosen, right? See the powers. I mean, and this is one thing I always love about Clover is how, I said it many times, but one thing I love about Clover is the character design. And what I mean isn't just how the character looks cool or whatever, but I mean how it makes sense, right? So it's like video game that I worked on a couple of years ago, especially when I started reading Black Clover, or anime, I was watching the anime. So working on a video game company, and this is a long video to go into it, right? But basically, short summary, right? That video game has a lot of issues. The big issue is the graphics of it, It's the graphics and its PR and so on. But basically the graphics, right? The characters, and I said it many times working at that company for like 3 years, and also, with other anime so too. A big issue in that game is that if you watch a character, you're watching the character in the game, you can't guess what the character is doing, right? You can't, there's no, what is called, telegraphic character design. So if you watch a character in my game, so I didn't make the art. I made a sketch. I made the sketches, and then the artist guy made the actual final model. And I was like, honestly, a little bit of that. But the point is that if you watch that game, and this was an issue, of course, that every player told us right when the game was released. So I was 100% right. Is that Black Clover does so good is that you're watching the Ryosen 5, and you can guess that Imari is here, the beautiful gyro. You can guess that she is gonna be a lightning goddess, right? Because she got like lightning hair. So I like it in Black Clover here. You see her, using her like lightning attacks, and it just makes sense because she got like lightning hair, right? It got lightning around the toxic one. I think that's always been for me one of the absolute biggest strengths, right, in Black Clover, and then basically Tabatha Sensei's like design, right? As I said for years now, I feel that he's so good at he's like making a character that makes sense, right? Like you can see the character and you can immediately, oh yeah, she's gonna be like a lightning user. It makes sense. Oh, the monk guy, he can summon like a huge Buddha thing and fight with like a, oh yeah, he's like a earth guy. Also makes sense because, you know, he's like a Buddhist monk kind of guy. So of course he can use like martial art with monk powers and earth powers, right? To kind of, it's like kind of martial art earth magic. It's like, I can make sense, right? And if you asked me before, I would have guessed that she was gonna have lightning powers, right? Like this, right? And I would have guessed he was gonna have, you know, earth powers, right? And that to me is good design because it means that I, as the viewer, because what Black Clover does so well is that it's basically, I said many times before, but it basically is like user friendliness, right? If it was a video game, it would be user friendly because me as the viewer or the reader, I can immediately kind of, it makes sense if she got lightning powers, right? And you don't have to explain it to me. I just buy it, right? But Clover's very good at doing like short, sad backstories, which is kind of like, yeah, I get it, yeah, like, you know what I mean? And so with my game then, it's opposite, right? No one can ever guess anything. If you play this game, you see the characters, you're like, is that a lightning? Yeah, no one can ever guess anything in the game. Which I go, why this game is so terrible from a graphics standpoint. Amazing gameplay, of course, but terrible graphics. But it really has terrible graphics because, and everyone said it so when they played the game, right? No one could ever guess. Most of the character looks nothing like what they actually are. So a tank looks like a tank or so on, right? And that's not good game design. Next chapter, 3, 4, 7. The heads, yeah, the dragon is dying. We're gonna need your strength, boy. Yeah, she's like, I don't believe in that stupid boy, I don't need him. Of course. Will your group be able to evade this? Okay, so the Lily is doing something. Like a massive attack campaign, maybe? Is spatial magic endless? I guess they're combining like the spatial magic to teleport ice or something. Yeah, he's doing ice from everywhere. Because they're teleporting in the ice. I see, so he's summoning ice around them all, hit them all. Yeah, the Yuriko is very powerful. She doesn't call them Yuriko too. Doesn't call them like magic. No, she's like, their ninjutsu. Their Japanese martial art is very powerful. Not really, but yeah. I hate this bot. Okay. No, you are worth slash. Okay. He got Beastman, of course. So they know. Yeah. Oh, he's summoning a toad now? I think so, Boogeyman. It's like a bird or something? She's afraid of that or something? I don't know, she's like a cute kitsune, but I guess she can't. But she got like a weird, you know, she's angry or scared at times. So I guess she's like, no, hey, ghost, you. So I guess, yeah, okay. She can't have the frog. Kairu! Yeah, okay, yeah. There we go, frogs! Yeah. Okay, because she's like a weird character. One second she's like, I will fight! And it's like, frog! I'm running away instead. He hasn't even done anything yet, yeah. So yeah, I love this character, man. She's, I guess, very up and down, yeah. Now she's like, oh my god, it's a frog! I see. He summoned the Boogeyman. That makes sense. That's called Boogeyman. So he summoned a guy that summons your fear. Yeah, okay. Basically, it's a beast that knows your... Yeah. It knows what you are afraid of. So I guess it's something what she's afraid of. Then it probably will summon her father. Ichika will probably have to be their father, right? I feel it's gonna be an... Yeah. There we go! I knew it! I call it Ichika! I call it. Yeah, of course it summons her father. That was obvious. Yeah, that was obvious, man. Of course she's gonna summon her dad, right? That was like a no-brainer. Because she's afraid of her father, yeah. So, yeah. It summons her frog, summons her father. Exactly. It's just an illusion, yeah. But now she's like, her memories of the brother are coming back, right? Tsukihiro, we're gonna bring back those... Yeah, the Yami clan. It's always so weird that Yami's surname is Yami. His actual name is, of course, Tsukihiro Yamo, yeah. They both name are Yami. It's kind of weird. I think we should call him, you know, Captain Yami, yeah, but... Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still worse, I guess, in Japanese. Either you... I mean, yeah, it is true, actually, in Japanese. Of course, Captain Yami is actually the more honorable way to call him, right? You know, a captain and his surname. But it certainly feels like Yami was his last name. That's how it feels, yeah. You're like, oh, okay. Tsukihiro felt like that was his surname, but whatever you want. Demon Souls. Pills, take this thing. Oh, he's like, he has some kind of weird balls? Some kind of, yeah, powers you up or something? It's like One Piece or whatever. Oh yeah, like activation latent powers. I see. So that's the Yami clan secret. They have some kind of weird demon pills that empowers you. Maybe he forced Ichika to take one. Ichika is the one probably that, they probably slayed them all. Yeah, she's the one. Ichika is the one that actually went Itachi, because, he was feeding Ichika these demon pills, so that's why she went cray-cray. And then she hurt her brother, of course. She hurt Yami and so on, or Sukihiro. But yeah, that's it. She's the actual one. She's always blaming poor Yami, Sukihiro, for this. But she's the one. Whoa, man, this is bloody though. Oh my god. But yeah, Ichika is holding her katana, right? It's just holding her katana, and it's all like, it's all, oh shit, what have I done, right? Yeah, so she's the one who did it, right? Not surprised me really. Surprised I can't find color. But yeah, so Ichika is the actual culprit. And of course it's her father's fault, obviously, but yeah. You got some power, Ichika-chan. Yeah, and then of course her brother took the blame. Was that my memories? Yeah, I'm the one that got the whole clan. Yeah, I hated my brother for nothing, for no reason. Yeah, but the other guys will be injured too, right? He's a monk guy. Master Lucifer to give you the true happiness. Okay. Oh, it's like rebuilt the dragon somehow, I guess. The dragon is back. Imali looks all scared. Yeah, keep your mind clear and focus. I'm actually this weak. Yeah. Here comes Asta, of course, saving her. Yeah. What do you do to my Imoto? Yeah. Asta comes and saves the Imoto. Of course she does. Asta is here. He said, that's like my Imoto now. She's like Captain Yami's Imoto. But okay, yeah, let's review it. Okay, chapter 347. It was good. Not surprised though, right? Yeah, of course they showed that Ichika. She was the actual one that was, holding her katana like that, right? But like I said in my last review, chapter, right? That, Tabatha Sensei is very good at doing this very quick flashbacks that can give you the main premise immediately, right? So yeah, her father gave her these demon pills, right? Secret of their clan. That made her go berserk, I guess. That's why she was the one that mostly hurt the family members, right? Then of course her Onishan, Sukihiro, he took the fall, right? Because he didn't want to hurt her feelings, right? Big old, protective old brother, right? But yeah, that's kind of what I don't know. I felt that was kind of expected, because it clearly was very heavily felt like Itachi and Sasuke, right? But it would be kind of lame, honestly. I think that Tabatha clearly knows that he's going into like a narrative similar route, right? With the whole Japanese, and again then, brother and, evil clan and so on. So he probably felt that I can't do the exact same thing. I can't be like actually being him. It's either the father or her, right? Yeah, and the thing is that, because I said that last time I read it, right? I didn't think that Yami was going to be the actual culprit. Instead, it was going to be almost the exact same storyline of Itachi, that the clan was evil or whatever. So I was like, nah, it can't be Yami. It would be weird. So it's either going to be the father or her right there, because there's no other, we don't even know anyone else in this clan, this flashback, right? So not too surprised by that. But I like, interesting that this guy could summon his beast magic. He can summon a beast that can summon your fears. Yeah. No, I think it's kind of funny when someone has a magic, right? That can give you other magics, yeah, like, you know what I mean? He's like, I can summon this animal can teleport, I can teleport now, yeah, like he gets other magics by summoning magical animals, yeah. Kind of cheat coding it, right? Because otherwise, normally that would be his own magic, like fear magic. Could be your own magic, right? Maybe you could, not only fear people, but maybe you can like take their fears and make it real, right, or whatever. Yeah, maybe you can, like, if they're afraid of a weapon, so basically, the more fear someone has, the stronger you get, because not only can you like scare them, but you can like materialize it, right? So if someone's afraid of, kind of like, in Chainsaw Man, yeah, like a Chainsaw Man, right? If someone is afraid of something that is actually more practically scary, like this monster, I can summon this monster, right? Yeah. So if someone's afraid of frogs, okay, I can summon a frog. It's kind of like a meh. But if you're afraid of Godzilla, I can summon Godzilla. So I mean, that would be kind of a fear magic, right? In a very like easy way. But he basically can cheat, and he's like a beast guy that can summon a fear guy that can summon your fear. It is like a two-step cheat coder. Yeah, it's like, okay, I cheat here. But yeah, not surprised that Yami took her to the blame, right? Protect his Imoto. Okay, let's go to the next chapter. 348. It does feel nice. I said it in One Piece read too, right? When I read 4 One Piece chapters. It does feel really nice though, to be able to read, like 4 or 5 chapters in a row. it is a feeling, right? I mean, obviously, I always say this thing, I'm not a big binge fan, so I do feel that every chapter or every episode has less value to you if you're just kind of being through it, right? Because if you do like a theory, you think about it, if you read a chapter every week, right, you think more about it and so on. So I would say it's a weaker feel to it, but still sometimes it's nice to just kind of get the next chapter immediately. But like I would say though, when I do binges, right, I never do more than like 5-6 chapters, yeah, in any manga, right? More or less. Definitely not, because if you do like, you know, which I've done it in my life, I've never done it, but you know, if you do like say 50 chapters in one day, right, you know, I had a lot of friends, right, to go into One Piece and they read like 50, 100 chapters in one sitting, right, which of course makes sense because One Piece is so long. So if you get to One Piece now, you probably read a lot, right? But at the same time, a lot of that, if you read like 10 volumes of One Piece, like you read the whole Alabasta arc in one day, right? You're gonna care less about it. You are, right? If you read one, I read One Piece so long. I read One Piece like a chapter a week, you know, even back then, right there. So I was reading basically Alabasta like monthly, something, yeah, weekly, monthly. I was reading like by volume at best at that time. So you know, like that, you really get the feel chapter, right? But if you read, like 20 or more chapters per day, it's really a lot, right? So, but anyway, 348 guys started. Asta. Yeah, she's like, Asta. It's interesting. Lily recognized him, of course, and it's like, why are you here? Maybe we snap her out. Maybe listen to Lily, she'd be like, that's my Asta. That's my little brother. The guy I might love, yeah. Maybe it's gonna snap her out of it, right? It's a kind of transformation. Yeah, it's not an actual father. Yeah, so Asta immediately gets that is not a real father. No, it's some kind of weird fear magic. It's Ichika's papa, right? It's an illusion. Yeah. But wouldn't Asta's sword just like delete him? I would think that maybe it blocks him because of katana, but sure. Like I feel like Asta's katana, you know, it is erased the magic, so just erase the illusion. Yeah. And Ichika looks really sad behind him. Human hearts are weak. That goes for your skills too, doesn't it? She's shaking in her shoes. She can't fight properly. Yeah, she's pathetic! I love this guy. He's like, pathetic. This guy's face is awesome, man. I love his face, man. Oh, I love this face. He's like, pathetic little girl, yeah. He's like, oh, what a loser. Oh, that's good. All humans fear something, even you. I can't become... He fears himself. I can't become Wizard King. He fears failure, I guess, by himself. Yeah, he's scared of himself. I set you free, yeah. You can accept losing protection. Yeah, I was being too careful. Yeah, I don't have the kind of the unit does. What am I scared of my own weakness? But Asta probably just cut it right. But Asta is cut his own weakness, right? But it feels kind of funny. He's like, my own weakness is himself. He's afraid of himself. And whatever is defeat him. It feels like the dumbest thing to summon themselves, because it's just like a character development thing. I just have to defeat myself then. But sure, it's a very common trope, especially in role-playing games, that you have to fight your dark self, right? You know, Zelda games, very common, right? Like, you know, Shadow Link. FF4 there, right? There, fighting your shadow or dark version self is very common in Japanese games. So on, very common. Yeah, he found his missing. Yeah, and of course he knows this guy is the strongest. He's like little lady, right? But he isn't he the strongest to do also, right? I don't have talent, but I can get stronger. Yeah, work hard. Since I don't have any talent, I can't have to be afraid. If you lose, I mean, Asta is the main character, so I actually don't have much fear, because Asta is just like a crazy mada guy, so of course she doesn't have much fear, right? Yeah, I wanna be determined to become the strongest. This guy is gonna be pissed off now. He's like, what? This guy has no actual fear? But that being said, this guy, again, isn't actually a fear magician. He's a beast magician, right? So just because you can defeat his, like, fear magic, it's not even his real magic. Can't you summon another beast and other stuff? Yeah, can't he be like, oh, I'm gonna summon this beast now. This beast is good against sword use, so yeah, can't you summon something else instead? Like, yeah, exactly. He's like, his instincts is like, oh, this guy is powerful, I need to do some other stuff. Holy hunting, yeah, so he just changed his magic. That's what I mean. This guy just changed his magic, right? Like, he doesn't have to actually use fear magic. He's not actually a fear magician, so now he just speed it up instead. Kind of like, you know, Setsu Bosta, you know, with Vito. Yeah, he kind of oh, I can just buff myself with it, you know. Yeah, he can't defeat the paladin, so he's just like, yeah, he buffed himself to be super fast, right? Exactly. Like I don't see why he would be limited fear medic. Yeah, but Asta probably to get him, which is a second. But Asta's gonna use his key, right? The fever is coming. He's gonna read his moment. Asta's gonna own him, right? By reading his. Yeah, Asta is gonna cut him, right? Because his ability is kind of bad against Asta. He's like a glass cannon speedy guy, so as long as you read, Asta is cutting once and wins, right? Yeah, as long as you just read his pattern. Yeah, he probably just slashed off the paladin part. But Asta probably purified him now, so he probably stopped being a paladin. Yeah, I mean, it's probably the same thing with the elf, right, you know? If Asta hits them, it's literally the same thing, right? Asta probably can just remove their, that's true, he can probably save the Lily in the same way, right? Just like the elves, probably. I mean, it is Lucius' weird soul magic thing, right? But I think it's the same thing like the elf that they possess, right? So Asta probably just removed the possession of the beast guy. And now he's probably maybe a good guy. I don't know. He's a new character, right? Yeah, the beast guy's a new guy, so he might still be evil, I guess. It's funny if he goes back up again and he's evil, yeah. Because when you fix the humans from the elf possession, they joined, of course, the good guys because, you know, they were like human knights helping the Clover Kingdom. But maybe the beast guy is a bad guy. Maybe he's just evil. Yeah. After all, anti-magic is race magic. His anti-magic settle is a move after opponent tipped. Yeah. He's the ultimate counter strike. He's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, countering everything. It's always Sister Lily! And then it ends with him staring at Lily like, I will save you! Yeah. And she's like, So, yeah, that was good. Okay, so 348, let's review it. Yeah. I love the last panel. Asta stashes and Lily's like, I will save you, girl. And she like, has this weird, like, surprised because of face look on him. But, okay, so Asta defeats the fear guy, right? Did we even get his name? The beast guy? I don't think so. Was his name even mentioned? Who knows, right? But anyway, yeah, Asta defeats him. It felt very, and also, it was kind of tropey, right? He summons Asta himself. Yeah, it's like Asta is fed of himself. And like I said earlier, is of course a very common, you know, very, very Japanese, I feel, right? But I think it's also kind of the culture of Japanese, you know, Nihongo. I think it's also the culture, you know, fighting your inner self, you know. It's very martial artic, you know, it's very East Asian culture, again speaking, to have, like, your biggest opponent is yourself, right? Your biggest enemy is you. I think that's very typically Japanese kind of way of thinking, right? And also in Korea and China, so well, but I think it's very common. And that's probably, as I mentioned, that we have it in so many games, fighting Shadow, whatever, this Dark or so on. And also for that matter, though, as a side note, right, one reason, of course, why you have so much like dark inner self fightings, right, in video games, to some extent, it's because it's cheaper, right? At most, it's cheaper. Because if you make Shadow Link, right, you can have the exact same textual animation and so on. You would have to give the actual model like a you know, some kind of mesh over that a bit so dark. But it's basically very little extra work to, you know, make Link the bad guy or whatever. It's much cheaper, right? So that's one reason too, because in every video game it's very cheap to use. It's basically a palette swap, right? So, like I worked on one game where I had two twins, right? One was light, one was dark, and I kind of just had the same animation for them, and I just kind of, so basically the only difference was the skins, right? But it looked very different because one was like lighting and one was darkness, but they were supposed to be twins, purposely twins, right? And they had different hairs though. They had different hairs, but they were otherwise the exact same, you know, body shape, right? Like the exact same muscles and arms and everything. So the animators, they had to do any extra work, right? But the model had like palette swap colors and different hair, so they were like, so little extra on the art, right? But the technical animator and the code didn't have to do anything else, right? That's one reason, of course, right there. It's very common for the shadow thing. But yeah, I guess Asta said could. Who would have, yeah, so 349. Asta versus Sister Lily. That's like a pretty badass chapter, yeah. Who would have thought you can get in my way again? This isn't my thing, but it's gonna be take you on that. Yeah. His girl, man, he's like, are you gonna save his girlfriend? So he's gonna block. But Sister Lily seems to be, I don't know, maybe she's gonna snap out of it. She's like, Asta, can you be alive? Right? Yeah, she's all like, Asta-kun, I was saved by these people. Yeah, he's like, didn't you save me on purpose, Sister Lily? He's like, you get spatial magic, so didn't you save me? I meant to kill you. He's like, you can't kill me. You love me. That's nice. Like, you're gonna marry me, so you can't kill me. Yeah, you can't kill me because you're a good girl. I am not being controlled, yeah. Water magic, holy fist of love. Holy fist of love, yeah. We have to defeat you, Asta! And then we see a flashback of her punching him as a kid, basically, with the fist of love, yeah. When he was young and weak. But Asta is so used to this. He's like, I've been training my whole life to fight Sister Lily and her water powers. Exactly. Yeah, you can use Sacred Demon Control against Antimatic. Why didn't you die like then? Yeah, like the frustrates Sister Lily, yeah. I have to attack with a stronger spell. Water X Spatial Magic. Sasha's Flash, okay. What's that then? Like a laser beam? I don't know. Like, what's he doing then? Shelling in water in a portal maybe? It's like a torrent? What is it actually? Now it's like a flat us kid. And she's like, die, Asta, please! Yeah, please die! What is this? But she has like flashback of cute Asta as a kid. She's like, yeah, she can't do it. Oh, here we go. It's not if I wanted to. Here we go. She's not crying. Sister Lily, yeah, she can't do it, of course. She's like, God damn it. Of course, she's herself deep down, right? She's Sister Lily, so she can't do it. She's just like, God damn it, man. It's my Asta. Lucius is right. She's only being conditioned to the... Yeah, she's still Sister Lily. But for the sake of world peace, right? Yeah, a world filled with happiness. I cannot see going crazy, so I think laser beams everywhere. I'm begging you to die. Man, it's so dark. Please just die already. There is no way this is right, yeah. My God, I am never gonna forgive you, Lucius, yeah. God, that evil king guy. Oh, and it slices her! Oh my God, it's probably just hurt. He probably did it like, it's probably flesh wounding it, Sister Lily. Yeah, please go back. I don't know, he got a flesh wound her? Man, I thought she was gonna bonker or something. I thought she was gonna bonker. I actually surprised he slashed her. Jesus Christ, Asta, you slashed your girlfriend. That's your waifu, man. That's your main waifu for some reason still, even after you met Noelle and so on. But yeah, he kinda... I'm surprised that he just bonked her, right? Because like with the elves, he would come up and smack them, right? You know, you can hit her with like the... with the blunt, yeah, he kinda actually slashed her. He actually hurt her. She's actually bleeding here. Yeah, let's review it. She actually... But I mean, sure, you could argue she's too powerful to just bonk her. Yeah, to put her in horny jail. So that was an emotional, fast chapter, but emotional. Yeah, Sister Lily's like, please just let me kill you. Like, you stop avoiding. Yeah. Oh God, it was kind of weird and dark. Yeah, kind of almost sad and also comedically weird in a way. She's like, you stand still, please. It's like what? But yeah, that was like a dark chapter. We should be crying, but just like Asta said, right? She clearly couldn't actually hurt him in the previous encounter, right? And actually saved him. So subconsciously, she still has some of her personality, of course. She isn't just completely controlled by Lucius. That's I guess why we keep seeing her having these flashbacks, right? To Asta's kid and so on. Yeah, she's young Asta and like Asta at some part or whatever. So yeah, so there's these memories, right, of Asta and Juno and so on. And that's probably why she can't really hurt him earlier. So, that's probably true for all these angels, these paladins. Right? They probably doesn't actually have, you know, Lucius probably doesn't have full control over them. Nah, because we keep seeing her cry. She kind of is crying while she's fighting him, right? And she's also, yes, I mean, very emotional chapter. And yeah, she keeps crying and she keeps like taking up Asta in different flashbacks or whatever. So, I guess his whole thing doesn't actually give them, you know, he doesn't completely remove the personality. I guess not. Very unlikely. But that being said, though, maybe, I mean, Asta is like it's like her brother, basically, right? In her perspective, yeah. It's like her Toto. So maybe it only works if you have a really close bond, you know. Like if Juno got taken over, Asta and Juno probably will recognize each other. For example, right? Noelle and her brother, so whatever, yeah. But weird, for example, another person, except Juno, maybe then, wouldn't be able to like talk to Sister Lily, right? Like she wouldn't care about maybe Noelle and so on. Has to be like Juno or Asta or whatever. Perhaps. But yeah, let's take next chapter. Chapter 350, yeah. So he grabs her, of course. Sister Lily, please marry me. Hopefully he drops the marriage line. Do it, Asta. Oh yeah, now she's crying. Oh man, another sad scene. She's crying, and I'm sorry I was so mean to you. Yeah, I'm sorry I insulted you, Asta-kun. Because she's all, that's sad. She's all, Sister Lily-chan. Yeah, she's all sad, of course. And I'm sorry I was insulting you. It's not your fault, Sister Lily. I haven't seen her hurt other people really, except Norse, but I guess you hurt someone else, probably. Okay, but maybe she's gonna awaken a little bit. She's like, the magic discrimination in the noble realm always had me. So maybe it only works on her because she had some hatred, though. It's interesting if Lucius only could do it on her because she had a deep, yeah. It's interesting, right? Because Lucius clearly makes them, takes a demon, right? Purifies them, gives them into this thing, turn them into this like paladin angel characters, right? But maybe his power has a limit to it. Maybe he can't just do another one because Sister Lily is like, I always hated the nobles, right? Yeah. Even though I'm not like a hateful person, she's like, I resented the nobles, right? For having these like poor and equality in the church, and so she has of course some. She has some hatred in her, right? She's a nice, nice nun, right? But of course she hates the government or whatever, right? To some extent, which makes sense, right? It's like a noble time. Yeah. Yeah, and the church the same thing. I found magic-based discrimination in class. Yeah, I know how I prayed. So exactly, she's kind of like, she probably has some hatred, right? For the church and for the nobles, and yeah, so maybe his magic only worked on her because she actually had all this, like, bothered down anger, against the system, right? Yeah. So maybe it wouldn't have worked on her. Actually interesting, right? I hope this explains later. Because I think that his soul magic, I think it's cooler if his soul magic that makes them into these like super aliens, right? I think it's cooler, whatever you call it, but better and cooler if it only works people actually kind of want it. I don't mean like you have to actually be evil inside of yourself, but you have like a desire you can like manipulate it, right? If you can take it on anyone, I think it's like meh. It's more interesting if it's like she actually had a lot of anger hidden inside of her. So she actually had the power to unlock this power level. But anyway, yeah. Asta saved you all. Got the Shogun. This time, try leaning on the guy that saved you. But yeah, I guess is her angel horn going away? I think this was to be breaking her body. Oh, there's some kind of final, yeah. There are 3 days left. Before the final battle in Clover Kingdom. Because he's combining all the blood. Yeah, we've seen it earlier. He's combining all the family bloodlines, right? Because they have all of their. Because everyone in their family, from earlier, right? They all have like body powers, right? So he has soul, and they have like it's called like bones, yeah, bone, flesh, right? And the blood, right? Yeah, exactly. Body, flesh, body, blood, and bone. Yeah. Exactly, and he got this like soul magic, right? So you can combine them all as like immortal. Because then you have all the. He can even create people. Whoa! Maybe the beast guy created them because the beast guy was never seen before. Yeah, maybe the beast guy, he can even create people. That actually kind of makes sense to think about it. Yeah, their magic does combine into a human. Yeah, it's true because if you have, so you have the body, right? You have Dante, that's like organs, right? And flesh, but it's like organs. Obviously you have blood then, right? Connecting kind of the body. Then you have the bone of him. And then with his soul magic, I guess he can like, see, I guess with the 3 of his siblings, he can create like a homunculus, right? Like an android, right? Like a flesh android, right? And he can give it a soul with his soul magic. So he can actually create people. Or maybe he can take other people's soul. Maybe he can take like a demon soul and put it inside like a purified soul or whatever, into a new body or something. He intends to take the full control of all the world's magic. Yeah, but why? I guess he wants to obviously take over the world, but why wants he take over all the magic? Yeah, obviously he wants to take this country. She keeps crying, I'm shaved. Yeah, it's Lucius' fault. Does she die now? I don't think so. No. I don't think she. Honestly, this I don't think is a fake out death because Asta cut her like once, so I don't think Asta should kill her at all. And Asta obviously will hold back to against the Lily, so. But yeah, it's gonna heal her with his fish right there. No, but it would make no sense if she died. I mean, sometimes I agree that Black Clover has a little too much fake out that's too, right? Like most of the animes, shouldn't make and so on. But in this case, come on, Sister Lily was barely attacked by Asta. He was clearly holding back because he loves her, so come on. That, yeah, I would take down Lucius. Oh yeah, the dragon's still there, that's true. They have this like sad moment and the dragon is standing behind him like, I'm gonna fight the dragon first. Yeah, let me just take care of the dragon first, and I go take care of Lucius. But okay, so we learned a little more about Lucius' plan, a bit of the power. But like I said earlier, let's review it here. I think it's interesting if his magic doesn't work on people unless they actually want it to work. To some extent, right? Yeah. I mean, again, of course, Sister Lily is a nice person. She doesn't want to like go around and like kill people, right? But she obviously does hate the government, right, to some extent, and she doesn't like, how the church works or whatever, right? She's obviously corrupt and so on. So yeah, like, she's like a, a religious nun, right? You give her the power that it becomes like a fanatical nun, right? That it go out to like purifying the world. That makes a lot of sense. So I hope it's a little bit limited to his powers, and he has to find people that can awaken into becoming like fanatical paladins. And a nun in that sense, it makes sense. A nun would be like having maybe a potential to go crazy, right, with the soul magic, so to speak. I would hope so. But yeah, we seen his powers earlier. He can create this body, right? And we haven't seen what she told us now, though, that he can create completely new bodies. But like I said, in the end, it does make sense, right? Because he would, if you just his siblings, you can create like a human body with that, and then he can give it life basically with his magic, right? And maybe with time magic, he can also maybe make it go faster. It's a little bit the whole time magic thing, but I guess with time magic, he can also speed it up maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe he can't make, he probably could just make a grown-up person, but maybe he's limited to making like babies or whatever, right? Like they're born, but then he can speed up with time magic as well. So, power 2. But he wants to take over all magic. I don't know really what his point would be to conquer the planet, but I mean, generally speaking, right? He wants to take over the planet. He's a typical megalomaniac, super bad guy, so that makes sense. He want to conquer the planet. But I'm a little bit like, why is he into all magic? I don't know. Maybe he wants to convert all into paladins or something. But anyway, next chapter. But yeah, I think it's fine that she's surviving, of course. Yeah, she's surviving. I mean, that's completely fine. I mean, like I said, why would she even die for, right? Why would she even die for? He cut her once, right? Yeah, it wasn't even like a deep cut, right? It was more about purifying her from the paladin magic, right? But anyway, 351. Asta gonna fight the dragon with the Shogun and the Land of the Sun. Asta's jumping around fighting the dragon. I don't care too much, honestly, about this. Yeah. Asta's cutting it right. It's healing itself. Wait, they grow back with healing magic? Well, maybe he just grows back because it's like a biological monster somehow. And the ice guy is still there. Yeah, they're still fighting. For the correct world, must lose if we create. I must not lose. I was next in line to rule the domain and be the strongest as I was a kid. I just was really no one could beat me. The only one we could have, yeah, was the course Shogun. Yeah, course. Who could beat Shogun? Okay, a plague, sort of. And those with weak, I used to die if they had like weak magic, basically. Soul quickening grass. The power that lies dormant in the Tengetsu. An eye which can see. See, it is Mimi's bro. I call it, guys. Yeah, I keep saying it. He's clearly is based on Odin. Yeah, he's gonna put his like one of his eyes inside the Tengetsu, just like Odin. I keep saying it, but the Shogun Ryu is clearly based on Odin in Norse mythology. Clearly, because he's gonna put one of his eyes inside Tengetsu, right? That is Mimi's Brun, and that's how he's gonna see everything, because he basically has an eye in there. So he isn't actually blind, just like Odin isn't actually blind in one eye. Odin has one eye inside a magical well, right? Come on, I keep saying. But you also lose your own Yoroko by getting the Tangetsu. Yeah, so you also lose your, you also limit your own magic. Then of course he does it. Yeah, and now he has 2 eyes by him flashback, of course. And now he's gonna have 1 fake eye, right? Yeah, and then he could of course find the grass and save people, yeah. Yeah, and now people love him because he can know everything. He's the best shogun ever. And then we see the guy, I love her. She's like, yay! She goes in there behind him. You know that he's like, yeah! She's like, goddamn Gyros, man. Goddamn Gyro Ninja, man. She's like, yoo! I'm part of the team now. In the flashback here. Yeah, he's the Odin, man. She a Kiku then? I don't know what she is, but yeah, I guess she's like the flashy girl, yeah. Yeah, so obviously he's gonna lose out now becoming Shogun because he's too. This guy's. Yeah, so this guy is the strongest guy they have, right? He was the Shogun in power then, but obviously everyone loves Ryu, so he's gonna pick him, of course. Yeah, Ryu though is super popular. Everyone obviously pick him because he's beloved by everyone, so. Yeah, I will be the strongest leader. He wants to be the leader of the fighter guys, yeah. Of course he wants to be the leader of the martial art guys. Oh, here we go. Iron Jutsu. So his power is Iron Magic. Oh yeah, that's why ice is working. Yeah, his whole body turns into iron. Yeah, his whole body is, he's like a tank. Yeah, he runs through the ice, of course. He can just turn into like a statue or something. So he's like a colossus. So it doesn't work on him. Yeah, so of course this ice magic has no effect on him. I think it was a Shogun. He's gonna be all like, I will give you some power up. He goes the bard guy though. He's gonna throw some bard magic on him. He's, yes sir. Yeah. Yeah, but that's a good flashback. But I was obviously right? Let's review it. I obviously was correct on that. It is exactly like Odin. I mean, clearly, right? It is clearly like Odin. I said it several times, right? But I said it at the beginning of this reaction, and I said it again, right? And I even had the theory a few months ago, right? That, yeah, Shogun Ryu, or Ryodoran Ryu, he's based on Odin in Mythology, right? Yeah, he put one of his eyes inside this magical place, right? Here it calls something else, but it's the same thing, right? And that's why he isn't actually blind on one eye, so he has one eye patch, but that eye's actually inside the well. Like it's in perfect eyesight, right? So it is the Odin. It is straight up the Odin, but as I expected, right? It was kind of obvious that he could oversee everything because, yeah, he got omni vision with his like one eye in the well, right there. Pretty straightforward. They also added the curse though. You also couldn't fight anymore. Like, you also put your eye in there. But instead he has like the ultimate, awareness. And then it was obvious that the other guy was gonna lose out though. Yeah, then he was super popular. And then he ran around helping everyone all the time with his eye power, right? So everyone loved him, of course. This guy being the strongest wasn't. No one wanted to be a leader then. No one believed him to be the leader when the other guy was so popular. Yeah, of course not. Last chapter. Today's chapter 352. It's examination time. Asta, I need to give you all your. Okay, well done. The 7 of us will set the stage for you, okay? The fighting can reanimate. There's like a hider, right? Or an Orochi, whatever. So it's just coming back up again. Ah, here we go. It was the eye patch, and of course you actually can. Yeah, the eye is just weird. You got like some kind of 10 ring strikes. It's like Naruto with 10 Getsu instead of Rinnegan. So you got the 10 Magatamas around his eye, of course. Ah, you need to cut it, fire it all at the same time. Yeah, he's gonna guide them over with his powers. Yeah, he's gonna use his like. He's gonna go Thundercats. He's gonna use his board guy to like play some music tunes, tell them how to fight. Then we see the badass guy getting up. I'm ready. Yeah, she's getting up. Imari-chan, yes, she's running at them. She's obviously the new best girl. Yeah, they're all running at it. They're gonna put the heads in the same case with Asta at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, she's pushing up with her neck. Yeah, put it in your positioning. And she keeps laughing at it because she's crazy. Yeah, as you wish. Oh, there's his mask. Not the ninja guy. His wounds are deep. Yeah, Yotsushi. the final head, he failed. Ichika is back though. Yeah, she still got a little bit of power inside of her. Yeah. We ain't got time to be afraid, little lady. Yeah, and then Asta, of course, gonna cut all heads at the same time, right? Yeah, like one clean cut, so they all heads are together in a perfect line. Oh, that was short, man. The doll, it was like a double spreads. That was not cool. They said it was short, man. It felt like a minute, man. It was like 3-4 double. It was like 5 double spreads. Yeah, that's a chapter. I'm not surprised, but it was like, wow, yeah. It was like, my God, there was so much double spreads. Like 1, 2, 3. This is like double spread deluxe, man. Usually it's like, maybe 2 double spreads. It's like 6, 7 double spreads. My God, this chapter was very short. Yeah, that's the chapter. That's the end of the stream, guys. Yeah, that's the chapter. Man, this chapter was so quick. I mean, it wasn't a bad chapter, but yeah, it was so many double spreads here. 352, late chapter. There was this like, bam, 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 it's over. But okay, so let's review it, and I'm gonna review the whole thing, right? So yeah, 352. What can I say? Quick review here. Yeah, it was a cool action thing. He using his super eye to tell everyone what to do, right? Using the bald guy to kind of give them commands, and they all put up the faces, right? And obviously, I mean, the monster is like, the Hydra, Orochi, or whatever, right? It heats itself, cut one head out, 2 grows out, it's a classic mythological massive head monster, right? That we see in so many mythologies. So of course you need to get all the heads in the same time, right there. So from a story aspect, it made perfect sense, right? That's why it was sealed away, because it's hard to do it, right? And also it's easier, of course, with Asta's anti-magic, right? To defeat a healing monster, right? It's always, right? So anti-magic was cool, right? But otherwise, yeah, we kind of saw the character jumping in there, cute guy, Rushan, and so on. Yeah, they're all coming in, they're doing bad stuff and so on. I love her run in the first panel. Yeah, we see her taking the leap, man. That's a good panel, man. You see them running and so on. They're standing up. But yeah, let's review all of them, right? So we're at 46 to 52, right? Finally, we have Black Clover, but I will read here. So yeah, I think it kind of covered. It covered, I guess, 3 topics mostly, right? The big one is probably Sister Lily fighting Asta, right? But from a story aspect, I think the biggest one was still Ichika, right? Let's start with that. Yeah. So Ichika, she was the actual bad guy, right? Ichika was the one that did it, yeah. So we learned Ichika, she was the one, not, of course, her brother, Tsukihiro, that actually did it, right? So that's a big thing. But like I said earlier in the specific chapter, not too surprised by that, right? Because it felt very touchy, it felt very Sasuke, very Uchiha clan. I think I'm not the only one last year that compared to the Uchiha, right? Obviously, Tabatha Sensei knows that. So, like I said earlier, I just felt that it wouldn't be the Itachi storyline all over again, as I said right now. So, I always get Ichika did it. So, I was surprised by it. I felt that was kind of where we'd go with it. Or the father, right? I wish they would explain maybe a little more what the demon pill was. Because that could be something you could use maybe later. Maybe someone else take the pill, right? Or it's too dangerous. I don't know, but it could be like a last resort, right? Maybe Ichika will have the pills later, right? Maybe Yami, and I mean Yami is Tsukihiro, then yeah. Maybe Yami, right? Captain Yami, maybe he will have the pills later. If he used them as a kid, but maybe she will bring some of the pills, and he will use them, right, to fight the bad guys. It could be one thing, right? Like awakening his true powers, right? For temporary power. Similar to, Might Guy, about the Naruto, right? Again. But yeah, typical. Actually, the pill thing is probably more similar to Shoji, I guess, of Naruto. But still, I mean, yeah, in Naruto, a lot of characters have, like, final stand power, right? Yeah, like I take this pill and I get double strength, and then I, lose my powers. And also Bleach, of course, has that as well, right? Yeah. So maybe Ichika is gonna bring in those pills later, even with her bad memories. That might be a thing, right? She's gonna bring the pills later to her brother mostly, then he might get power up and so on. Or maybe someone else, maybe Melona, whatever. Maybe someone else is kind of a crazy fighter that's mostly like a physical melee fighter, can use it to go berserk. Like probably again, yeah, Melona probably be the best one otherwise, right? Give Melona some demon pills. She goes like Demon Melona, the lioness, and she goes like 10 times more berserky. Maybe that's better, right? Yeah, Melona is going crazy. Yeah, it's like Melona going berserk on the enemies. Even more so than usual. Melona is always a feel berserk mode, but she's got like extra berserk. Yeah, Melona leveling up her berserk mode. It would be kind of effective, perhaps. So that could be one thing, right? Definitely could be one thing. See Melona doing that. Another one, of course, is the Lily. Finally purified. And I said, I do wish they kind of end a little more on if it was like a limit to the. I think it's interesting that she had a few panels there talking about how she actually had some, issues, right, with the church and the government and so on, right? How it was corrupted and how she hated some of the systems and so on. So I think that could be interesting if, I keep saying it, of course, but I think that could be an entrance, right, to maybe a little bit more of like, maybe you need to have some darkness in your heart or whatever. Well, maybe Selena to come back to that. She actually was not against Asta, right? Maybe she did actually hate, I don't know, the king or something, right? Maybe Sister Lily actually does hate some people in the country, right? Or whatever. Wouldn't it be impossible? I think it's fine, right, if Sister Lily. But Sister Lily is supposed to be this, I don't know, innocent, pure lady. But that's what's interesting to see her actually admit that she actually didn't love everyone. Yeah, she was like, oh, I'm just an innocent little waifu, but actually I hate this guy. You know what I mean? I think it's interesting scene because she kind of was like, the truth is that I actually hate that guy. Yeah, it was interesting. She kind of admitted that she wasn't, innocent and pure in that sense. She obviously never made any crime or anything, right? But she admitted she had bad ideas, bad thoughts, right, about some people, yeah. Which probably everyone has, right? Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's one reason why I always think that people that act like they are holier than thou, right, People that act that they are, like, pure, innocent. I always find that so questionable, right? There's one thing I have an issue now with. I won't get too much in the video, of course, but that's probably one of my core issues I have with some people, right? That are very like, oh, we shouldn't do this in anime or it's like in gaming, about the Fire Emblem, right, last week or so on. You shouldn't have this romance scene or this thing or that thing or this character is to have too big oppas or whatever, right? For example, I mean, a lot of oppas here, but my point is that an issue I have with a lot of those people, right, is that thing that is a little admitted, right? That they pretend that they are pure innocent, right? That they never have anything wrong with that. But most people, everyone has a skeleton, right? In their closet. Some people have worse skeletons, right? And usually, and this is not obviously something new for me here, right? But as most people know, right? The people that complain most about this kind of stuff, right? Are usually people who have the most skeletons, right? Yeah. There's a reason. There's actually, I mean, I read a lot of books about this, right? Because it's my work. But there's a huge reason, right? That people that complain a lot about other people's purity. It's called that, yeah. People that complain a lot about purity in other people, right? Are usually themselves very unpure in a purity sense, right? Because that's why they complain, right? Because they have guilt, they have this, it's very common, right? It's very, very common. And we see it over and over again. People getting convicted for some stuff and so on. Yeah, it's very, very common that the people that talk a lot about this actually are the worst, right? So there's a little moment there of actually being like, well, actually, I'm pretty hateful. Yeah, no, but of course, the Lily is like, some people in real life, of course, she's more innocent. She's actually more innocent. It's a phrase here. Since the Lily isn't one of those, right? But I like it that she actually admitted that while I am this like perfect little nun lady that helps children in orphanage, I actually do hate these people. Yeah, so that's what I mean. She's like, because the Lily's like the perfect, nice woman, right? That runs an orphanage, saving children. Yeah, so it's a very, very nice lady. And obviously she's still a nice person, but even she has darkness in her heart, right? She isn't 100% pure, right? She's like 99% pure. Don't get me wrong. Sister Lily is like 99% pure, right? But she isn't 100% pure. Because no one really is 100% pure. Not even baby, basically. But yeah, you have to be like a small child, right? To be innocent in that way that you have zero bad ideas, right? Or wishes or whatever, right? That's what I meant earlier too, right? That most people that complain about, for example, Merlona having too big abs or whatever, right? These people are usually people that have like maybe 50% innocence in their body, right? And they pretend that they're 100%. Not even the orphanage nun lady is 100%, okay? That's my point. Not even the orphanage lady is 100% pure, okay? In that sense. So that's a good writing scene, right? From this author, that he made Sister Lily actually feel guilty over being like, well, actually, I do hate these people. Maybe that's why I'm an evil angel. Yeah, like she kind of like, Asta, the reason I turned into an angel, I wanted to kill everyone, was because I actually do want to kill these people. Because to see the reason, she kind of admits that actually, I've been dreaming of like, but I think that's not for Earth, right? So in those chapters, that's kind of what I refer to too, that I wish she even went in more that, right? Because I think it's interesting that she basically admits that she maybe the magic, right, as I said earlier, doesn't work unless you have that kind of wish, right? Because clearly, her being this, like, poor nun, right, running an orphanage, and she's like, oh my god, the king, the nobles, the bishop, the pope, whatever, the people run this shit, right? Yeah, they're all terrible, corrupted. If I had the power, she probably has, of course, several times in her life, wish she had the power, right, to, fix the issue, right, in the government, you know what I mean? Like, almost everyone has that wish, right? You work in the governmental figure, right? Or if I could just, like, if I could fire the president, I could be way better, you know what I mean? She probably had a desire, right, many times to actually, become the queen or whatever, right? If she could, you know what I mean? So, she probably had that. She said that she was like, oh yeah, that's why when Lucius gave me the powers and he made me an angel, I went crazy because I could see the world being pure or whatever, yeah. So, she probably had like a latent trigger for like, oh, actually, you know what? No, I got the power to purify it. Yeah, so I think that's an interesting thing. I wish maybe it's going to be more of it later, right? And then lastly, yeah, we had the Odin eye thing. But that also explains better. Yeah, that he has the power to see stuff. And also explains why he himself is weak, though. That he can't use his own magic as long as he has the eye in there. But as I said, of course, he isn't actually blind. It is exactly like Odin in Norse mythology, I keep saying it, but it really is. He exactly has Norse mythology eye, right? It's not blind at all. He has one eye basically inside the magical place, and that's why he can see everything. Just like Odin. So it's clearly based on Odin, man, with the one fake eye patch and everything. Yeah. So, but that's something it's a side note, It's one of the things that I feel that, Marvel movies and so on, all the stuff, that adopts Norse mythology, usually miss that nuance, right? Yeah. That could have been a thing like in one of the Marvel movies that Odin isn't actually blind in one eye. He could have revealed that, I can see everything. Right? Because think about it, that's one of Odin's straight up powers. Yes, in Norse mythology, one of Odin's best powers is that he got that eye, right? And he got used at this guy, he can see everything on the planet, right? In Midgard, so he has perfect eye vision, right? For like the 9 realms or whatever, yeah. This never been used in the Marvel movies that I can recall, but Odin actually should be able to dodge everything and this stuff, and he should know that, you killed your mom and this thing with Loki and so on. But he's supposed to have this like super eye vision power. So he's supposed to have that, omni knowledge power. It's never utilized in the Marvel movies. So I mean, Odin is definitely kind of useless in the Marvel movies. He's supposed to be way better. Yeah, he's supposed to be way better. You think about it alone, right? Just having the eye power to know what's happening on every. I think maybe I'm wrong, but I think that Odin has the power to see more than all the 9 realms, right? In mythology, not only Midgard and Asgard. I think all the realms. Maybe Jotunheim. I don't think so. I think Jotunheim, Helheim, and Jotunheim might be blocked by him, but I don't think so. I think there are some old stories with maybe Hela sort of blocking him, so maybe the other one can't block him, right? But normally he can see everything, so he really should be way better in the movies to help his son and stop Ragnarok and stop Loki and so on from doing stuff and save his wife and so on, because he can see everything, so it shouldn't really happen. But he's just useless in movies. It is poor, man, yeah. Because I mean the reason, right? This is the last point, and the reason, of course, why Odin is the leader and not Thor, right, is most of that power, right? He's stronger than his son, right? In the actual, original mythology, much stronger. He's like Zeus is much stronger than Hercules and so on. He's stronger, right? But also having the power with perfect eyesight on the whole universe, or the whole, at least the 9 realm universe they have, right? Basically the whole planet is like, it's a pretty good power. it's hard to sneak up on a guy that can see everything in the whole planet. Yeah, it's kind of like he knows everything that happens all the time. Yeah, he has perfect knowledge. It's kind of hard to defeat the guy. So that's again is the big reason, right? He's so powerful. And I don't think it's ever utilized outside in the more. Because I mean, maybe I'm insulted, but I think it's kind of funny. Talk about the Sami last week, right? I think it's kind of funny how it feels like everyone today knows about Thor through the Marvel movies, right? Not from the actual mythology. And yeah, the powers are. And Luke is way more powerful too. Yeah, all of them are stronger in mythology. Think about it. Yeah, basically everyone has more powers in the actual original storylines. They kind of nerf in the movies, right, and the books as well. But anyway, he basically is Odin, right? Yeah, basically he found the cure and so on immediately, right? Yeah, so more or less, right. But anyway, subscribe. What do you guys think? Should we read next week? Maybe we will see what happens here on the actual tab and so on, right? Because previously this been unfortunately, right, that all the Black Clover videos for the last 8 to 9 Black Clover videos has all been like so. This happens after this chapter. We will see. I guess. But guys, please leave a comment below on if you like me do more clone writing, or please share the video and so on. And I'll see you guys and have a great day.